Not we, I am spraying, fertilizing the rest of the wheat. I'll finish today. I've got, after this load, I just have a partial one left. So I had about 15 acres left on this field, and then just the the 150 or so acres, kind of around the barn. So once I finish this tank, I'll know how much I have left and how much of a partial tank to get. I've never seen anything like this. There's a hawk right there. I for sure see 1, 2, 3. There's a one sitting over there, and there are more out here, and then probably about 4 flew out that way. I don't know. Maybe there's 1, 2, 3. I don't know. You can't even see them. They're not that close, but man, I'm not sure what's going on here. Like a little convention. Okay, look at that black spot in the middle. There's a hawk, and then right next to it, well, there's a hawk there and a hawk there, and then I'm about to drive up on a bunch. There's one right there, just hanging out. There's some more that are going to start flying away. Out there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this is crazy. I don't know what's going on here. I've never seen this many just here. Normally they're when I'm plowing or something, they'll be looking for mice, but they were here before I got here. So it's not like I'm plowing. I mean, there may be some mice and rats and rabbits in all this, but it's crazy. And then what you can't see is out in the bare ground, there's even more. If anybody's got any ideas what's going on, let me know. Back from lunch, just got the last load of fertilizer. It's a little over a half tank. I've got 58 acres to do, and so I think I've got just the right amount to get 58 acres done. If I've got any left over, then I'll do this small little section right here by the barn and by Grandma's house. Alright, so we got this little thing. I'm going to hook that up to the freshwater tank and get that filled up, since normally I'd use the spray trailer to pump it in, but this is our best option right now. So I couldn't remember if I ever showed you, but this liquid is blue. Not because it's blue, hold on. So it's blue, not because the product is blue, the fertilizer itself, but there's stuff in there they put in there called, I pay extra for, called Infix. It's supposed to fix the nitrogen. Letter N, fix, get it? So in the, it's the blend. This is 28005 fertilizer mix. So to get that, they mix 3200 and 120026. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah. So then to combine those together, the 12 nitrogen and that and that sulfur mix is stable. But in the 32, some of that is urea, and the urea is not stable. It'll gas off. And same with the dry. If you remember when I fertilized with the dry fertilizer, some of the pellets were white, some were blue. The blue pellets were coated in the same exact stuff, a liquid called Infix, and it only attaches to the urea. And because the ammonium nitrate won't gas off, but the urea will. So if I didn't put that in there, maybe a week, it's going to be really warm the next couple days, might gas off and lose the nitrogen. That would be bad. But with the Infix, a couple weeks, 3, if I'm really lucky, maybe 4, they say. So hoping that we get a rain this week and it won't even matter. By paying extra for the Infix, maybe I'm guaranteeing a rain sooner, so I shouldn't have bought it, but we'll see. All right, spraying done. Sprayer unhooked back there, and scraper reattached right there. So I'm gonna go take the trailer, just I'm gonna go park it in front of the house, but I'm gonna spray it off first, try to get some of that fertilizer off. Hopefully the rain comes and does that for me, but I'm gonna get that unhooked. And then my parents are past here to go where they're at. They'd have to go by here from where they're going to get to their house. I'm gonna need help moving my truck over there. So it's also almost time to get the boys from school. If they come by very soon, then I will go on with the tractor and they can come get my truck and take it to their house, and I'll get the boys. If they don't come very soon, then I'll just leave the tractor, go get the boys, and then when Emily's done working, I'll have to come back and go to Dad's house, and then bring me back over if we get the tractor, or Dad could grab the tractor on their way home. There's some options. We'll get the tractor moved, my pickup moved. Just stay tuned. Well, the correct answer was I'm gonna go get the boys right now. Mom and Dad are not back. They're at the dentist. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Also, the air conditioner's loud because it's 90 degrees today. It's too early. It's April something, April 2nd maybe. It's too early for that. But really warm today, and going to be warm again tomorrow, and super windy. So it'd be nice to get some plowing done to try to hold some of the ground that is blowing away. Some guys around here, there's a tool, an implement called like a sand fighter, and basically it just goes and runs these little, I don't know if you call them teeth or paddles, that go through and they just kind of stir up the dirt. It's not really for killing. Its sole purpose really is to just break the soil up so that it's not slicked over and the wind doesn't blow the dirt. And most of the time the guys use that in the sand. Well, there's guys that are here, they call this tight land, or more clay soils, and they're running the sand fighters. Here's an example of some guys that are actually doing that right now. We don't have one of those. We have a rotary hoe, which is somewhat similar. But if I could just strip till some of this over here around the barn that hasn't been plowed, that'll help. That'll alleviate that problem. Okay, there's the sand fighters. Plowing now. Been quite a day here. Change up from getting that sprayer, switched over to the scraper, and got this tractor serviced, and it's going. Okay, so here's something that happens when we plow. That little trench should not be there. There should be more of a mound like these others. We get a rock or a dirt clod that gets lodged in the rolling basket, and it locks it down, and it's so dusty I didn't notice it for a while. Sometimes it's a rock that you have to hammer out. Sometimes it is just a clod like that. Let's see. That actually was a rock. I mean, it was just barely jammed in there, but sorry, it was just barely jammed in there. That little rock can do that. We'll just catch more water here. It's actually a benefit. It's kind of late. I just finished plowing, but I wanted to come out here, and it's been so warm. I wanted to take a look at this wheat, our earliest wheat, and I saw some of these sticking up, Starting to get some seed heads to pop up here. You can see some of those. I was driving, I thought, I hope those aren't little like weed, like a rye or oats or something, but no, that's just seed heads sticking up. We are double timing it here on this field. Dad's getting finished up, and I am working to get this done. The issue here is he can stay ahead, except for this, the water washes go every which way, and so it's not like he can just work down there, because those tracks, they can end up coming closer to me. So I'm just going, you know, across, and he is sometimes over there by the wheat, and then if the wash takes him, he gets end up closer to me. So far I only had to stop once to wait on him, but I think it'll work out now. I think he can go faster than me because he's not having to move a ton of dirt. So getting it done. A little dusty. Okay, so here is why we strip till these the second time. This is after a good rain, and we get these divots where the water just kind of sunk in. Obviously there was a kind of a void right there, and we see those kind of throughout. So last year we didn't get a chance to, or we didn't decide to go over everything a second time to bust those voids up because they're there. The water comes and can collapse a lot of that, but after a good rain like this, if we'll come back, we'll raise the shanks up a little bit, and then we'll run through it again, and it'll bust all that up and eliminate all those air pockets. The seed gets into that air pocket, and the roots got to stay in contact with moisture, and when we get to that void, well, there's nothing there, it's just air. And so that's a good example of why we go over it again, and it'll make it a really smooth, fine seed bed to plant in, and then have good, consistent soil, a soil root zone for the roots to grow there and find moisture all the way down to the deep. So there you go. Now, I heard a little pop when I was plowing. Figured I probably broke something. Sure enough, I did break something, but not necessarily my fault, it just happened. So this is what I heard. Remember when I dropped another shank and it broke that tip? Well, same thing, looks like it happened. I must have hit something hard, I don't know. So I'm gonna run to John Deere and get probably 2 more of those and some more of those roll pins. I still can't find those roll pins. I know they're in the barn somewhere, but I can't find them. So a couple more roll pins. All right, fixed. Quick trip to town, to the barn to get some parts. We're back ready to go. $57 for this piece right here. Okay, got one locked down with the actual rock that I cannot move, so I'm gonna have to hammer it out. Easy as that. Have I told you that there are hawks following me? I mean, I bet there's 30 out here, at least. I don't think they're following me. I think they're probably eating worms and bugs and things, but it's unusual for me to see this many. Well, I did a thing again. I'm done. I just had to do this cutoff row. And this is where I broke that other tip. Got the new tip on. Went through this area. I thought there's something that broke that before. I'll go really slow. And I did go really slow. And brand new. $57. Broken. I don't know what this is. It's black. It's, I don't know, it doesn't look like a rock. I don't know what it is, but we don't really have, I don't know. It's solid, whatever it is. So, I was gonna get the tractor moved over and filled up with diesel. Now I have to stop because boys have a baseball game. So I'll drive the tractor down to the house and maybe I'll fix it. I don't know. We'll see if I have time. Maybe I can get it fixed quickly, but back to the house, fix it. I have to drive back out here just to plow this and then drive back. Well, I just talked to Dad. Turns out this right here, that'd be an old pipeline that I've hit twice with the tractor. Good job. Thankful that I don't see bubbling crude. That would not be good. But you probably can't see. But right back there, there are some markers for a pipeline. And then I can't see these. There's some on our farm county road, the farm market road. And I can't see that one, but I can almost guarantee you it lines up with this one. And this is the pipe running. The problem is this is only like 4 inches below the surface now because so much water has been running down here. I'm gonna mark it on GPS on my phone so we remember where this is, because I mean any of our plows, like field cultivator, is gonna go deep enough to hit that. So yeah, we don't want that to happen. Well, next day, a little different. We're in a hoodie again. 90 degrees last couple of days, now low in the low 40s last night. Still pretty chilly this morning. So I think I'll take the not 90, but I don't know if I really want it to be cold. I also definitely don't want it to freeze. That would be bad for our wheat that's starting to head out. We got a bunch of wheat from everywhere. So this morning, I'm gonna get this fixed. If you remember from last night, called the oil company and they are digging on it, making sure that there's no damage to the pipe. Hope there's not, but they're taking the precautions there. Went and got some diesel this morning. So filling up the scraper tractor for Dad. And I'm pretty full on diesel now myself. So should be able to get a good day's work in. Just sheared that off. Man, this wind's making my eyes water. The deal with most things, you break enough stuff, you become an expert in fixing, and you learn a lot about those things by breaking stuff. So not that I'm trying to break things, but it is a good teacher, and I'm learning how to repair things. That's what it should look like. Let's hope there shouldn't be any more whole pipelines in any of our other fields. At least not that I'm aware of, or probably that Dad's aware of. Well, I was just talking to Dad, and we did call the pipe company, and they were out there to inspect it last night. Brought a crew, and they excavated it, which I thought they were gonna maybe dig a little hole. I'll post some pictures. They dug a trench, and they're gonna weld sleeves around the entire joint in the pipe. They think that pipe's probably built in the 1920s, and it's screwed together. So they're gonna weld over the sections in the pictures where it was kind of silver, that silver paint. That's where the gouges where I hit the plow. I actually hit it in 4 spots, they said. And so when those 4 spots, you can see those marks. They're gonna just cover them all up. And so when he was telling me that, I was like, I better go check the plow and make sure I didn't damage more tips, because I know the one for sure that broke, because that's in the picture, it's the one that's further down. But I obviously hit it in 3 other spots, so I thought I better go check the other tips to make sure. So here's what I found out. I've been plowing for a little bit, and there's the one that broke. Here's the next one, and it is missing. It was not missing when that one was broken. Even this morning it was fine. So it must have been damaged in the impact also. In the picture, they look like they're about 32 inches apart, which is our row spacing. And so this one was definitely damaged, and I lost it somewhere, deposited it in the field. So I'm gonna have to go back and replace that. Also, I was looking over here, I don't know if this is part of it or not, but this tip kind of has like a metal lamp, I don't know, like something folded over. So I wonder if this drug across that pipe also. And then let me go over there and show you that one. This is the one that I dropped in the barn, had to replace. It's got a little, and it could just be deformity in the tip, but I also could have been where it drug across the pipe. So how about that? That's gonna be a spot that we're gonna have to watch forever. We're not probably ever going to be able to plow through there for sure with this, because that pipe's always gonna be there, and it's not very deep. They're back. Maybe more than before. Well, here's the update. Getting going on this last field, about 150 acres on this field, and I've done 55 acres, so I think about 100 left. No issues, about 5 hours, I should get done. Boys have a game, baseball game tonight, so should work out, be able to get that done before the game. Dad's back there. This had the worst washes that we had anywhere else, and he's doing a lot of the scraping down there. There's kind of a natural waterway, and so he's just smoothing that all up, and then we'll get this project wrapped up. So close. I'm ready to be done. Meanwhile, the wheat looks good. This is the last wheat we planted. Looks pretty good. All right, I'm on the last through. You look there. Remember, our planter is a 10-row planter. This strip till bar is 8. So I have a planter. I have is another single row. It'll go right up next to the wheat. It didn't quite match up, so I'm actually double plowing that last pair to make it fit right. I can jump over in increments of 8 feet because my wheel spacing is 8 feet. So if I jump over 8 feet, I'll jump over and double plow one pair. And so that's what I'm doing here. Gets this field finished and gets strip tilling completely finished until we get a rain, and then I'm gonna raise the shanks up on the plow, and we're gonna go over everything again to break up those cavities. If you don't know about that, you gotta watch other videos. All right, so there's Mom and Dad's house, and here is the damage. Yeah, they had to bring the big guns out. So they wrap these joints, which are thicker, or Dad said are wrapped in a sleeve, and then the entire section inside is also wrapped with a sleeve. See, it's not super deep, and it was even more shallow right here. Obviously, I don't know anything. I can actually kind of tell you based on the old rows. This, okay, I would have probably hit it 2 spots there and probably like 2 spots there. How about that?